Good morning. This is take 400, by the way. So I'm here today to talk about the assignment this week on learner-focused classrooms and how to make our classrooms more learner-focused. And I've kind of broken it up by the three questions. First of all, how do we make things more learner-focused? Second of all, how do we foster positive communications within our online learning environments? And lastly, how to make the online learning environment more interpersonal within an environment that is not really conducive to that. So let's begin. In terms of what I've gotten out of the last 6 weeks with regard to learner-focused, what would make us more learner-focused, the two things that are sort of hit me the most are the concepts, the issue of feedback and the importance of feedback to students. That I think is absolutely critical in this particular environment because we lose so much in terms of the availability of communication that we get when we can see the students' nonverbal cues, tone we don't get. A lot of these pieces of normal human communication when we're face-to-face are not available here, especially when we're asynchronous. So utilizing the videos, utilizing the virtual classroom components of the program are going to be key, but they're going to be limited. And so we need to give good feedback. We need to create feedback loops with the students. So oftentimes feedback from us should be questions as opposed to just, okay, yeah, fix it this way, because they're going to learn more and we're going to build that communication piece, which we'll talk about in a moment. The second part is the engagement, making sure that students are engaged with us to prevent or to be very cognizant of falling through the cracks. That's going to be critical, whether it's intentional falling through the cracks or non-intentional falling through the cracks. Those are things that we kind of have to be aware of. So monitoring and making sure that students are engaged. I know even for myself with an online class, I need to try to force myself to log in every single day. I've, in the last couple days, because my laptop has died on me, have been working with the phone app, and that makes me more able to connect on a regular basis. A little bit of a learning curve, but once you're into it, it's pretty straightforward and it works fairly well. Had a little problem with the videos, so I'm doing it from a regular phone app, and then I actually found a new app to transcribe it, so it's a really good way to do things using other different tools. In terms of the second question that was asked of us, fostering positive, energizing, and ongoing communication, one, we have to model that behavior to our students. We have to model positive communication. Two, we have to express a love for the subject we teach and a love for the learning piece of this and trying to go beyond. A lot of what I'm going to be trying to do with this particular course, because it's also the way I do the face-to-face, is to engage students in and telling us about their own lives and connecting what they do in their own communities back to what other students are doing, so that we can share and build on that and do those other things. I also think it's very important to praise students for accepting challenges, and taking an online class is a challenge. I think they should be praised and told that this is something that is remarkable and that they are stepping it up, and encourage that throughout. If we keep that positive aura in the course, it's going to be particularly hard for the AP classes because we have them for the whole year. And so every once in a while, we just need to step it back and talk to them about something totally different before we re-engage in it. So I think there's that give and take. There's an ebb and flow to what we need to do in terms of this in order to keep that communication going. The last part is making the classroom more interpersonal, and that's something that I strive for both in my face-to-face and my online, or hope to do in my online. But there are more challenges to doing that. Here in my face-to-face classroom, we have the class t-shirts like I'm wearing today. This happens to be the criminal justice t-shirt. We do that for field trips, and we do it as a way of building a team. One of the key elements for all three of these questions for me is that, and I do it with my freshmen more particularly than I do with the upperclassmen, but it's that lesson of we are in this together. I am not just throwing you to the wolves. It's not do or die. It's we're in this together. My goal is to make you as successful as you possibly can be. Again, I'm going to be teaching an AP class online. I teach an AP course here. The focus isn't on the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. The focus is on, okay, challenge yourself. Accept the rigor. Be the best that you can possibly be. And I'm in that with you. I will give you all the tools that you need, but you have to do the work, and I'm right there with you. And so that interpersonalism, one of the things I want to do is in the beginning when we do landscape analysis, typically here, what I do is take a field trip. Well, we're going to have to do it a little differently. So we take a field trip to town, we learn about that section of town, we look at the landscape, we analyze that landscape, and try to hypothesize and synthesize, well, gee, why is this place the way it is? Why does it look the way it is? Why does it do it? Well, in our case, we're going to have people from all over the place. So I'm kind of excited about this. What I want to do is have the students videotape, whether it's on their phones or whether it's with a GoPro, whatever, and walk us through a portion of their communities, and then we post those videos and we do landscape analysis on each other's. So it gives the students that relevance, and I think that's the important thing, the relevance to the course, and be able to show off who they are and where they are from. And from our perspective at AP Human Geography, our place in the world. That's what we really want to do. And again, it gets back to that focus on we are in this together. We live in the same world, but we have differences in the places that we live, and those places help to shape us, and we help to shape those places, and it's what we're all about. And that, I think, will help to make it a much more interpersonal learning environment. I hope this is what I was supposed to do. This is kind of where I went with it, and I've enjoyed watching some of the other videos. So thank you for a great 6 weeks, and good luck with your classes next year.